What's up, guys? My name is Roberto, and I help spiritually minded entrepreneurs take authority over their health and wealth by helping them activate their most powerful asset, which is their mind. And in this series, I'm helping you get an idea into its physical form. How did you get an idea from here into actually be producing something that you want to produce, whether it be a book, a YouTube channel, business, whatever it is that you want to do. I believe the principles that we're going to talk about in this video are going to help you get that idea into paper, and then from paper, getting them into its physical form. So if you're watching this video, thank you for taking the time and just digesting this information. I hope it helps you. Another thing that I want to tell you is I believe this is part 5. If you're watching this video for the first time, I would go back and watch part 1 because each video builds on top of the next one. So we talked about getting rid of scarcity and poverty mentality is the number one thing, because if you have a business and you don't get rid of that, you're going to sabotage yourself and make less money than you would, because you either don't think it's worth it, you think it's too cheap or too expensive. So you want to get rid of that thinking. Part 1 talks a little bit more about that. The second one is you want to research. That means you want to educate yourself in the thing that you want to do. Because if you're not educated or know what you're talking about, then why should we listen? Or why should we want to buy your product if you don't know what you're talking about? So you want to research and you want to get educated on the thing that you are pursuing. The third one is accountability, because if you're not keeping yourself accountable and you don't have people that keep you accountable, it's going to be really hard for you to stay on track with the things that you want to do. Now, even the most disciplined person, I believe, needs accountability. Number 4 was actually getting your financial IQ to increase. Simply just knowing how to handle money, knowing how to manage money, knowing how to multiply money. And we basically said that the Rich Dad, Poor Dad books are a great tool to get you on that path, to begin to educate you about money. So for this video that we want to focus on is this. You want to begin walking it out. So you've already researched the thing that you want to research. Maybe you're still in the process, and as a matter of fact, you're never really going to stop researching it. You're going to always continue to get educated. You want to continue to always get educated on it. But by now, you should have a pretty good idea of what you need to do. So if you already have a pretty good idea of what you need to do, one of the things that I encourage you to do is to register your company, get the name at least out of the way. And if you feel like, for example, if you want to start a real estate company, if you want to own a restaurant or something, and you think it's something that's going to be pursued within the same year, what I would suggest that you do is start the company already. And what I mean by that is come up with a name, figure out a name for your company, because once you have your certificate of the company that you just built, it becomes more real to you. And when it becomes more real to you, you begin to put more focus into it. It is no longer an idea. You now have evidence that you're one step ahead of where you wanted to go. So the first thing, come up with a business name. What's the name that you want to look for? Then I need you to go to your Secretary of State and find out if that name is available. Once you figure out that name is available, buy it. Most places you can buy it for like 20 or 25 bucks. So once you do that, you have to then figure out what type of company you're going to build. Is it going to be an LLC? Is it going to be a sole proprietor? Is it going to be a partnership? Is it going to be an S Corp? Is it going to be a C Corp? Now, if you're starting a company, it's just going to be you, and for liability purposes, most of the time, most companies can fall into the category of an LLC rather than just a sole proprietor, because for tax purposes, there's more benefits there. Now, here's now your homework, what you have to do. Now you have to decide what type of company you're going to have. So go online and look up what is the difference between LLC and sole proprietor. What is the difference between S Corp and C Corp? What is the difference between a partnership? Okay. If you're going to have partners, I don't necessarily recommend partnership, because this is not legal advice, but there was a company that we had started where we started as a partnership, and we actually had to pay more in taxes because of that. And there's better tax breaks when you don't do a partnership. So if you do want to do a partnership, it's best to figure out who the main owner is going to be, set it up as an LLC, which is what we did. And then under the agreement, the business agreement, we then, the other person was going to get paid like a partner, but it wasn't necessarily listed like an owner. That's what we did. You have to look up get some legal advice on what would be good for you to do. So that's going to be your homework. You want to find out what type of company will fit the thing that you want to do. And most companies, again, fall into the category of an LLC. Most companies will be fine just doing an LLC. Once you do that, once you figure out which company you want to go with, you want to be able to form it with the Secretary of State. But most of the time, if you go on Google and look up how to form an LLC in whatever state that you're in, most of the time there is online pages that you can fill out online. It should be about $110, $150. There's a lot of companies that will form it for you out there, but honestly, you don't really need it. You can do it all by yourself. It's very, very simple. If you go online and go on Google and type in how to form an LLC, you'll see the steps, and you can do it all by yourself for under $200. A lot of people pay lawyers, which you can. Once again, it's just up to what works for you. If your company is going to be very complicated and there's going to be a lot of legal stuff that could go wrong, like real estate or something like that, I don't know. You might want to have a lawyer form it for you. But most companies, most gigs that you want to start, you can form them by yourself. Again, this is not legal advice. Go and pursue, get the advice that you need from a lawyer or somebody that you trust. So once you get that, you're going to form your LLC. Once you form your LLC, you're going to get a certificate from your Secretary of State that you are in good standing now, and that's where you'll get your the certificate in your state that your company is basically now open for business. So you get that, and then the next thing that you're going to want to get, you're going to want to go to the IRS website and get an EIN, which is basically a tax ID for your company. That's how you're going to declare taxes. Now, a lot of people do their taxes with their own Social Security, which you can do, but for tax breaks, and for separating the companies, you and the company, I recommend you getting an EIN. You can get an EIN for free. Most of the time, the IRS will literally send you the EIN for your company the day of. So you apply for it on IRS, go on Google, and basically just type in, how do I get an EIN for my company? You'll find the link, you fill it out, you submit the application. I'm pretty sure it's still free. When the past few times when I've done it, it's been free. So you do that. Once you do that, you now have the name, you have the LLC formed, you have the EIN. The next thing that you want to do is you want to get a bank account. You want to get a business bank account so you can start separating the things that you want to do. Now, I'm going to tell you a little trick of something that you can do once you have a bank account. Okay, check this out. Whenever you open up a bank account, they're gonna ask for the EIN for the company. They're gonna ask for the certificate, and they're also gonna ask for the articles of the articles of formation of the company. Basically, how is the company going to be managed? Most banks already have a form that you can fill out if you don't already have one. And basically, all they're going to want to know is there any more owners other than the person that is listed here? And that is those are the few things that you need right now. You get that going, you've got a business. Now it's real. Now you've got something in paper. Now the name that you had as an idea, it's now here. So start with that. That is the next step. I'll see you on the next one.